Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us all here today. Today's shiur should be Le'ilu Nishmas, our dear friend Menachem ben Yisrael Yaakov, as well as my dear aunt Rivka Bas Gavriel Tzvi, and for Zaidi, Reb Shmuel ben Yosef Dov HaKohen, and B'schus the Refuah Shalema Bekarov Mishalom ben Sarah Rachel, Miriam Bas Sarah, and Yair Yeshia ben Chaya Atara. Today we are on page 55 in the Ora Vigdor for those who are following along. And today we are talking about the worldly benefits that Bitachon has for a person. Until now, we was talking about the spiritual benefits that we gain by having Bitachon. And now we're going to get into a bit about the worldly benefits, something that we can relate more to on a day-to-day level. Now, Mehen, Menuchas Halev min Nadagas Holimuras. From among those worldly benefits is tranquility of the mind, peace of the mind from the effects of the worldly worries. V'hashalva min nud hanefesh, and calmness from the disturbance of the mind. V'tzaro lachesron taveseha agufiyos, or the distress that can be caused by being deprived of the physical pleasures. Let's say a person, Avigdor Miller says, has Bitachon. Let's say a person does not have Bitachon. What winds up happening is this person thinks they know what they need or what's good for them in their life. And when they don't have it, they feel a sense of anguish or deprivation, sadness, depression, because they don't have what they feel is good for them. But the person who has Bitachon understands that if it was good for them, they would have it. Because Hashem would surely give them something that they need if it was meant for them to have and if it was good for them to have. Thus the man who has Bitachon lives quietly, confidently, peacefully, calmly in this world. Kamusha Kasav, as the Pasuk says, Baruch Hagev Asher Yiftach B'Hashem, V'hoyu Hashem Miftachai. He says, blessed is the man who trusts in Hashem, and Hashem will be his security. What this means is, Rabbi Avigdor Miller says, is that the reward for trusting in Hashem is that Hashem will fulfill his trust in him. And that doesn't mean that this is his entire reward. Doesn't mean that his entire reward is this peace of mind. It also means that he will gain schar and olam haba on the world to come, as well as gaining that physical pleasure on this world. V'amar, and it says, V'hayu ke'etz shasa al mayim, he will be spread like a tree that's close to the water. A tree that's next to water has these root system that grows towards the water. Roots tend to gravitate towards where the water source is. And when the tree is right next to the water, it has a very wide root system. And what that does is, and the metaphor over here is that a person with Bitachon will be like the tree with the root system right next to the water, because that's a stability. It gives a better structure, a stronger structure for the tree. And thus we will receive also that stronger structure because we have the Bitachon. Another thing, another benefit that Bitachon, a physical, worldly benefit that Bitachon has for a person. Menuchas hanefesh mileches kadvarim harachokim. Calmness of mind from not needing to always constantly travel. Asharhi mechala hagufos, which wear out the body, mamheres hashlomas yimeicham, and hasten the end of the life. There are people out there that require travel for their business, for their jobs. Some of us travel maybe a few minutes by car. Some of us travel, maybe an hour by train. Some of us actually fly places maybe every other week or every couple of weeks. Some of us travel by plane even more than that to another, maybe the other side of the country or to another country altogether. Traveling wears down a person. He's not at home, doesn't sleep normal hours. He's either, flight is delayed and he's just not sleeping at all. Furthermore, when you go to different places, climate changes, going from south to north or to a different country altogether, those climate changes, they affect you. I know people that every time they travel, they take medications with them to fight off, getting a cold, a cough, whatever it is. Why? Because that's what it does to you. Also, your body is not immune to the illnesses in that area. Like, there are people in Africa that drink water, but if a Westerner goes to Africa, they might get sick drinking that water. Even when we go to Israel, I don't like the taste of the water in Israel. It just hurts me physically when I drink that water. A lot of Westerners, a lot of people from New York, New Jersey, the United States, when they go to Israel to visit, they don't even drink the tap water over there. They only drink bottled water. And so another benefit of that is traveling. With that, Rav Av brings a story of one of the Purushim that he went to a faraway land. And he met over there with a priest, an idol-worshipping priest. And that idol-worshipping priest, he preaches to him. He says, you guys are silly. You guys are blind. You don't see the real truth in this world. And so the Parish asks him, what is this truth that you talk about? Who do you worship? And the Parish tells him, he says, Amalei Parish, I serve the Creator who is all-powerful. The one who sustains all. Hamatrif, who feeds. Asher ein kamoyu, the one that there is no one like him. Amalei Hamgashi, this priest of this idol worshiper priest tells him, he says, you know what? You're a hypocrite. The words that come out of your mouth are those praising Hashem. And you're saying that he takes care of everybody no matter where they are. Yet you're here in a faraway, distant land, have traveled months to get here to earn a living, to come to me, and you're preaching to me that God can sustain anyone anywhere. What are you doing all the way here? The Parish, he was quiet. He returned back to his city. And when he got back there, he refrained from traveling unless he absolutely needed to. He lived his means of what he can find in his own city, and he internalized what he learned, and we can learn from everyone in this world that we meet. That having full bitachon is understanding that we have enough where we are. Hashem will provide us exactly what we need over here. Well, this morning, my good friend and Chavrusa, Ari, Aaron, he told me a great story that he saw on LinkedIn. There was two friends. One was Kurt Vongut and Joseph Heller. Joseph Heller was an author, and he wrote a famous book called Catch-22 on World War II, and it was very popular, made a lot of money, and they were at this big party that this hedge fund manager threw. And Kurt tells Joseph, because Joseph, how does it make you feel that the hedge fund manager, that our host, made more money yesterday in one trade than you've made your entire career as a writer, even with Catch-22, which was his most successful book? And Joseph Heller responds to him. He says, I have something that hedge fund manager does not have. Really? Kurt says, really, what do you have that this billionaire hedge fund manager doesn't have? Joseph tells him, he says, you know what I have? I have the knowledge to know that I have enough. You know how powerful that is? To know that you have enough to live, you have enough money to retire, that you're not constantly chasing money just for the sake of keeping score, that I am bigger, I have more, I'm better, I can buy a bigger boat, a bigger plane, another yacht. No, I have enough. And that is the goal. That is ultimate bitachon, that I have exactly what I need. I'm not constantly chasing money for the sake of the chase, to be able to have more fame, to be able to say, I have more. It's not about keeping score. No one cares. No one cares about you. You should be caring only about yourself and how you feel, how your wife, your children feel. That's what you should be caring about. I have enough. Repeat that every single day. That's what it's all about. Thank you, Joseph Heller, for those wonderful words. Thank you, everyone, for joining us all here today, and I love you all.